Tim, talk to me about yesterday. How did you find out about the accident?
My eldest son rides in the bus that was behind the one that had the accident, and he had a cell phone on him, and he called up here, and me and the guys just hopped in the car and ran down there, about a half mile down the road. So.
And you were the first on the scene, I understand?
There was a few of the teachers and stuff that were there ahead of us and bus drivers.
Okay. What was the scene like? What did you see?
I seen a lot of kids that were helping out other kids. A lot of the older kids were doing a real good job of getting the people out, and it was just a mess. I mean, you could only imagine what was going on. It's just something you don't want to see ever.
I understand you guys kind of helped out in shuttling people. Tell me your part in that part of it.
Me and my brother-in-law were down with the bus trying to help the little girl out from underneath it. We was running the jacks and stuff, and then the guys here at the shop were escorting people back and forth with the emergency vehicles, running them up here and trying to get all their parents with them up here at the shop. We just let them use my driveway as a gathering point to keep the mob away from the scene and keep the roads clear for personnel to get through.
Now, you mentioned you were trying to help with the little girl. Tell me about how did you find out she was there and how you guys got involved in that part of it.
When we got there, we was finishing clearing the bus, getting the last few kids out. The bus driver was the last one to come out, and we was just canvassing the area and doing a sweep, and we just happened to, one of the safety personnel or whatever happened to see a shoe underneath the bus, so we started talking and seeing, and we could hear a little girl just saying her name and saying help, and it just began there, and the crew all came together, and we had a lot of help from all the other businesses, owners and stuff that showed up, and we just worked as hard as we could to get the bus up off of her and get her to safety.
How old would you say the little girl was?
She's a 6-year-old little girl. She's a.
So you guys took jacks, is that what you said you did?
Yeah, we had bottle jacks and the Jaws of Life and the airbags, and just like I said, everybody chipped in and brought stuff that they had, and we just did our best to get it up off of her, and a lot of the local guys and farmers were there helping out. And then
Now, you mentioned also when you first got on the scene you were helping kids get off the bus. Was that difficult with the bus turned over the way it was?
Nope, the rear of the bus stayed intact pretty good where the safety hatch, I don't know if they're designed that way or what, but it was open. Kids had done got it open, and most of them were walked out of it already. Just a few had to be taken out by the time we got there.
You made your place a safe place for people to come. You mentioned briefly why you did that. Tell me again why you wanted to make this a place where parents and other people could gather.
There was 2 buses down there. The second bus in the back was stuck, and they couldn't get out. So parents were starting to mob in, trying to get to their kids, and so we just loaded every kid that was able to walk on that bus and just sent them up here, so parents had a place to get them while we worked on extracting the rest of them that were still stuck in the bus. And I just didn't think it was the place to be down there trying to get kids off the bus. You know, we needed to more controlled to keep an eye on who's getting on and off the bus. And so some of the principal and a policeman and everything rode up here with the bus and were taking the names of all the kids as they got off and keeping accounted for, so we knew how many was there and how many wasn't.
Do you have any idea about how long folks were here yesterday?
It was probably 7 o'clock by the time everybody got picked up and taken care of, and the bus got out of here and the roads opened back up.
Okay. You obviously were there. You were there helping, but you were not alone in that. What does it say to you about this area and this community that people would make sure that they got there and they could and helped when they could?
Oh, it was amazing. It was a really good effort altogether. I mean, the community came together. They didn't care who they was taken care of or what it was done. We just had a job and focused on it, and there was no questions asked. You just jumped in and helped. I mean, it's just something we do as a close-knit community. Everybody on that bus we knew personally, so.
It must have been difficult, obviously, seeing young children with terrible injuries and stuff like that, to kind of put that aside and be focused on trying to help out. Was it?
You might think it would be, but when you're at that point, it's just, you got to do it. Somebody's got to do it, and if it's you or somebody else, I mean, if it was your kid, you'd want the same thing for you. So you just kind of jumped in and did it, and you didn't think twice.